Hey beautiful ones, it's Coach Viv here, bringing you the wellness and the woo all in one place, all on one channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. My focus is a lot on holistic health, healing, and spirituality, and that intersection for women specifically. So today I want to share with you about a client of mine who I'm going to change all the identifying details, but and just share the story with you in general and look at what we did to help her and how she was helped. She was helped pretty profoundly. This client came to me, let's call her Amelia. She came to me suffering for, I would say, about 4 months previously, always with a cold or flu, being really tired, and also like having stomach bugs. It might be a stomach flu, which becomes important later in how I helped her. But a lot of times it would affect her digestive system, but also sneezy, all of that just run down. And she knew that, okay, I don't want to feel like this. And this is becoming like a regular thing in her mind. And many of us do this, if you have small children, a lot of times, they bring bugs home from school, right? They're sniffly, sneezy, or your partner is, they get something, and then pretty soon the whole family get sick. And so that was happening also for my client, for Amelia. And she had been under a lot of stress in terms of some academic career. A lot of times the women who come to me for coaching and for support are teachers or academics. And so she had had a lot of changes going on in her life. And that's the first thing. A lot of times when we are getting sick, it's because, and what I really work with, because I'm not a doctor, flash a warning here, it's the stress that underlies the illness. And that's where I work with people, because that can have a really profound impact in your healing. Amelia took a quiz that I have, and I'll put the link below to that if you want to check it out. So she took the quiz as a client, and then we discussed it. I looked at it. I spent a lot of time diving into her answers. And so this is what came to realize: particular meridians that were imbalanced. Meridians are energy centers that run all throughout our whole body, and they nourish the various organs. It turned out that the earth meridians, which are stomach and spleen in our body, so the energy flow to those meridians, she had a lot of issues that reflected that on the quiz, right? Because the quiz groups you into 5 categories of these 5 elements or 5 changes that our energy goes throughout the day and throughout the seasons. And so the reason I want to share this, especially to the women watching, is I'm seeing a pattern where there's some connection with mothering, how we were mothered, early relationship with the mother, if there was some fracture in it, if there was some difficulty in it, and our health now. So there's definitely some connection with that. And in fact, in this holistic school of thought, there's a whole school that believes that any illness starts from those earth meridians of the stomach and spleen, that it's like they're really the where it starts, and that you kind of get a handle on it by working there. As I'm editing this video, I just realized that that's interesting what I'm saying about the earth meridians, the stomach, spleen, and the West's recent, definitely relatively recent, emphasis on gut health, microbiome in your gut. Just interesting overlap there. What we did, so I want to share with you what we did for her. And I will tell you in her own words what she shared that was really, really powerful. And that's why I wanted to bring you her story. The first is just that awareness that there is often an emotional component to, like I said, to early mothering, and we could look at that and tease that out. And so Amelia did, and we discussed it. That was part of my working with her, was looking at those issues in that area. Then another really, really important thing is when we're run down, anybody run down, you need focused rest. All right, which is extremely hard to do in our society. So I typically teach a deep rest practice, a guided deep relaxation, also called yoga nidra, and there are various forms of it. So it's like training in how to relax. So, and typically, and for you, if you want to try this, I would say a minimum of 3 times a week. So not even every day, but at least 3 times a week. take 20 minutes and do this guided rest practice, right? So that's the first thing, because basically we want to build up your immune system, the adrenals, the kidneys in this system are very important, of course, as well. So we basically want to restore you. And so you have to do this sort of accelerated rest practice. We started working on the stomach and spleen meridians, and we worked with them on the legs because it's easiest to access. So what's wonderful about having someone mentor you through this is with each client, I pick the points that are really appropriate, but that are accessible. So we worked with the points on the legs, and she began like self-treating. So basically with palm pressure and thumb pressure, treating the meridian by like basically just gently pressing and hold and press and hold. So not like kneading massage, but more supportive massage in this system. It's with the palm and the warmth from your hand, that chi nourishes that meridian. So we basically nourished that mother energy that has very much to do with self-care as well. Finally, because she was moving along really well, she was doing everything. She was doing the homework, right? Doing the practices, and you could visibly see her seem less tired. It was amazing. And this was only over 3 sessions. But that was, again, because she really did the practices, right? It wasn't just theoretical. For the final session, we did another quiz where we looked at potential herbal formulas, and we discussed it in the final session and came to what would be the best one for her to start with. For that, and I'll put the link for that below, it is an adrenal formula by Banyan Botanicals, which I highly recommend. Again, if it's right for you, you can read about it. I have used it. I use Banyan all the time, and I like the company a lot. I like their values and their testing and all of that. And so we discussed it, and we decided that would be the final piece, was to get this formula. Now, there's a lot of them on the market, and they do different things. Because for many people, when they hear, adrenals, they think they want something stimulating, but that's actually incorrect. If your adrenals are already worn out, you want something that is more of a tonic, that is more nurturing and building you up, rather than something that's artificially stimulating you, the way like caffeine does, right? Because that's why people have caffeine. It's like they want more energy, but it's a really sort of, it's like whipping a donkey that's tired. I know that's a weird analogy. Instead of feeding the donkey, nourishing the donkey, giving the donkey some vitamins and minerals, and the donkey gets stronger, caffeine is more like whipping the donkey, hyping it up, giving it like methamphetamines or something, gets all hyped up, but it's ultimately not good for it. Okay, if that makes sense. Let me know if that analogy makes sense. So I was able to do a lot with her within 3 sessions because she really was very diligent. And most importantly, Amelia wasn't chronically ill. She had not yet gotten to the state of having a chronic illness, right? She just started to notice, like, I'm getting sick all the time. So I want to share with you, because I want to keep the video short, what she said. I'm just going to read part of it. I was feeling extremely run down before I went to Viv, and I was catching colds monthly. Viv helped me to recenter and get my health back on track. I haven't gotten sick since working with her. Okay, and it took us, I think we worked together over about 2 months, which is, that would be typical-ish. It depends. Some people need a little bit more time, but as she said, and this made me feel so good, this was like after, so even a little time had passed, she said, I have not gotten sick since working with her. I have more energy, and I'm feeling more grounded. Viv is an expert and really knows what she's talking about. She's also kind and compassionate, and I really appreciated working with her. I just wanted to share that with you, and just again to reiterate what you could do at home on your own. Start doing a yoga rest, yoga nidra, yoga deep relaxation, at least 20 minutes, 3 times a week, depending on your condition. And this is where it is hard to say without working with you. Work on the meridians. You could take my quiz, but I work on the energy meridians, as I said, in this case, stomach and spleen, that related to what was coming up for the client. Treat that again 3 times a week, 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, right? Just self-massage on the meridian, and then just sit for a bit, breathe, meditate. And then I really do believe herbs can help, but I always, always, always recommend a formula. Taking one single herb will very, very often imbalance you, because just like Western medicine, they have a particular effect. And in a formula, there's more of a balance rather than just, it's like one voice speaking versus multiple voices that harmonize like a choir. And so that's actually better and safer. So that's what I did for this client. And I want to share with you because I am really happy and proud of the work I did with her. And because she was very diligent, within 3 sessions, we were able to have such good results that she has, and now it's been several months, has not gotten sick again. Again, got to continue doing the practices. It's something that you have for a lifetime, especially if you have some understanding of the theory. I really recommend my complete program, which is 8 sessions, because in there I really get more into mindfulness as well, and teach you how to do mindfulness meditation for a lifetime, right? And then combine it with the other things that I've mentioned. So the 8 sessions gives us that amount of time. And certainly, like if you have like a chronic illness, one, or some people have several, then definitely, 8 sessions over, which is basically takes about 3 months. You have a whole season to learn and to interact with me and get my coaching. So that's what I recommend, depending on, where you are in the stages where what you're dealing with. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you want me to get into more detail. And again, for those of you who are interested, the quiz is below. You can then set up an appointment to speak with me a bit about the results of your particular quiz, okay? All right, be well, much love, and I'll talk to you again soon.